Hi, my name's Claudia Naen and I'm the designer and maker behind Tapuh Clothing. Tapuh began in summer of 2020. It was very much a brainchild between my sister and I. I'm half Malaysian and half English, and that was a big part of what I wanted to bring into the brand. So my akong, my grandfather, he worked in the Natural History Museum. He's an indigenous to Borneo itself from the Badayu tribe. I think back in the 70s, he wrote his own dictionary which translated the Badayu dialect into English. My aunt got it printed a few years ago. So my sister and I were just flipping through that and looking at words and thinking about things that were to do with me, but maybe could be spoken and said as the Badayu word instead. And nothing seemed to stick, and we literally went through the entire dictionary, and then on the back there's this really sweet blurb about my akong, Robert, who wrote it, and where he came from. And it said, he was born into the Badayu tribe in Mentu Tapuh. That's the name of the kampong, the village that he was born in. And just Tapuh kind of stuck. It was just suddenly that's it. That's the name. That's exactly what this is. There's my grandma on my mum's side, who was the first person to sit me down in front of a sewing machine when I was 8 or 10, and I was so scared of it. I was, you put your foot on the pedal and it just made this really loud noise and it just went as fast as it could, and I was like, oh my God. And it really freaked me out, but for some reason, as I was getting older, things like textiles and sewing were becoming such a huge part of just everything that I enjoyed. My grandma made all these beautiful quilts, and she always made these small little blankets for my toys, and she'd make little patchwork dresses for my toys. And so I always had a piece of her when I was kind of playing, and then that kind of went into my profession, I guess. She passed away when I was only just really discovering that I loved this so much when I was about 14. So it's really nice that there's something that we have together, that when I'm at a sewing machine, I'm with her. But very much I see clothing and getting dressed in the morning as there's two parts to it. So there's the character part, there's the person that I want to be that day, and then there's the actual, okay, well, what am I actually going to be doing that day as well? What colours do I want? What accessories do I want? What jewellery and neckerchiefs, and how do I want to do my hair? And I think it's so fun, it's so playful, it's such a nice way to start your day. There's practicality, and then there's kind of that magical element of just becoming something for the day. I've designed these pieces to be a uniform that you can wear during your work time or during your errands, but then you kind of feel that you're dressed up enough that you can go out for some dinner or drinks with friends or something like that. Just really an outfit that can kind of just survive and live with you through the day and just be a part of your kind of everyday uniform. Another big part of designing it was very much functionality. The trousers have been designed with a bit more of a tapered leg, so that you kind of don't have to be conscious if you're, cycling or kind of having to walk quicker or anything like that, or running up the stairs. You don't have to worry about the trousers getting in the way. And then with the top, it was very much looking at European folkwear. Workers, fishermen's smocks were one thing, especially for the smocking in the back. But also big sort of inspiration was artist smocks. That's sort of where the pockets in the front kind of came from, and the pockets in the back as well. The idea of fabrics as well, that ties into the whole wanting this to be a timeless piece that you can wear constantly and for many years. I have got the idea of kind of movement and abrasion in mind. I want the fabrics to really aid that and help with that and be a part of that. And with this project, I really wanted to kind of bring that back to the community that's continued to support Tapuh throughout these past 3 years. I really wanted to get an insight into the people that were buying my clothing, and I wanted to know what they were doing whilst they were wearing my clothing. I love getting pictures from people that are, you know, like, oh, I'm wearing it to a gig, or I'm wearing it to a wedding or something, or I'm doing this in my tapu, I'm going to a market and I'm selling my pieces. You know, I love connecting like that with kind of the people that are supporting me. I really hope these designs do connect with people, and I kind of can't wait to see how everyone wears them.